A warrior, your keyboard in hand, your lonely fat fingers work tirelessly on your plan to let the world know what you don't care for, and only assholes would dare disagree. One day you gave my content a click, decided you hated me, jumped on my dick, and now you ride me like a roller coaster. Please stop bullying me, I'm too fragile to read these mean things. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. Yeah. Thanks for pointing out that I gained some weight. I hate to disappoint you, but I already lie awake at night and wonder why I suck in life. I swear I'm fine, I'm dead inside. Call me shit, but nothing compares to the voice in my head that has always lived there. Get in line, you fool, it's nothing new. I'm just a tool like you that hates me too. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. You fucked me up, you fucked me up, you fucked me up beyond repair, and I will never be the same again. Yeah. Maybe I'm a little young, but you don't know what I've become. Can't you see it in my face? But we've been living in disguise, but you can see the killer in my eyes. I've got a look you can't escape.
Uh-oh. I didn't clear the meme from yesterday, did I? Damn! Well, that's a good start off. I mean, that is. Honestly true, that's a good one. Because what I have to show you guys this morning, you're all going to be going, damn! Yeah. So, let's just get right into it. So, I logged into my YouTube channel this morning to start the show. I'll make sure I'm not muted here. Okay, yeah, I'm not muted. So I'll start my show this morning, and I was greeted by this community guideline strike. I got a warning, guys, and it says here the reason why I got this was for child safety. Somehow I've got to, I think it may have been when we watched that video yesterday about those two kids fighting. Um, those two kids fighting on the playground or whatever it was, or in the common area, or whatever. I think that may be what it was. I've got to go through. I could appeal. I'm going to do through all that stuff and what have you. See if I can get them to reassess whatever. I'm not too worried about it. It's just a warning, but it says if this happens again, your channel will get a community guideline strike. You won't be able to do things, upload, post, or live stream for 7 days. And that's no bueno for my channel, right? Because if I can't live stream, then guess what? There's no coffee with peepaws. Yeah. So anyway, I'm not, like I say, I'm not, let's not get the pitchforks and all that kind of stuff just yet. Let me go through the appeal process and what have you, but I just kind of want to let you guys know. And here's the thing. I think in some aspects it's inevitable on things like that. It's kind of like almost like a rites of passage, Pickleton, it wasn't you. It wasn't you. It wasn't. I don't think there's anything in chat that caused this. I really truly believe it was that little video that I showed of that boy being bullied by, and then being attacked by those two girls, right? So anyway, like I said, I'm going to have them relook at it and we'll see what happens. So anyway, also, while I'm kind of doing a little bit of house cleaning and stuff here, yesterday, evidently, I said a word because I read out a chat message, and in my ignorance, I did not know that this word could be used or was a derogatory term towards people. So, and I'm not going to say the word again, of course. I'm not going to try to draw more attention to it. But if you are in the LGBTQ T community, and that was offensive to you, I do apologize because, like I said, in my ignorance, I did not know that was an offensive word, and so I apologize for that. And I hope, and I will be more cautious about reading chat in the future. So, anyway, so let's get on. Let's get on to the.
I can still do it, and I'll whip it out when I need
Hang
to.
on here. What's this? Anonymous dip $5. Anonymous says, one day I hope I'm a 1%. Okay. I hope one day I'm 1% as wholesome as people. Well, guys, listen. I think, yeah, there's this kind of, I'm wholesome and stuff, right? Guys, I honestly, I'm gonna drop the stick. I'm gonna be just as honest with you guys as I can right now. Okay. I don't know if I'm wholesome or not. Okay. I'm just a Gen Xer that, was born and raised with certain values that was biblically based. That's it, right? And I try to treat everybody equally and fairly. If you say something or if you do something that is questionable, or if that it doesn't necessarily, I think it could be potentially harmful for you in the long run or harmful to others. I will try to address it and try to give you some good advice. This wholesome thing, I'll just put it this way. I'm not, I don't know, whatever, guys, but just please don't put me up on no pedestal, because I don't ever put anybody up on a pedestal. None, especially YouTubers. Just don't do it, because inevitably we will let you down. There will come a day I will have a take about something, or I will say something, or I'll do something that is going to cause me to, not be, I guess, as wholesome in your. So just please don't ever put anybody up on a pedestal. Nobody's perfect. We're all flawed. We're all, cracked, dinged. We all have our warts. So but just live by the golden rule, right? Just treat others as you'd like to be treated, just be nice to people. It doesn't mean that you can't criticize them. It doesn't mean that you can't have disagreements with them, but just be nice when you do it, right? Don't be hateful, spiteful. Don't, because you can take exception without just being bitter and hateful about it. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So anyway, yeah, we have values. We ain't so wholesome. Exactly, Kim B. Exactly. Racial, LGBTQ plus. We call it alphabet soup. You're fine. We know that you would never say something with hate in your heart. Of course, you can speak for all queers, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I have a joke because I have a coworker who's gay, and he's Gen X like me, so he's like old gay, like not new gay, he's old gay, and there's a difference, guys. I'm telling you, there is a difference, and I'm not saying that to make light of it or anything, but there is a difference. And I just I said every day it's like there's a new phrase or a letter or something that is added to represent this community because it's trying to be all things to everyone, right? And I said, can I not just call you the alphabet people? And he says, yeah, that would probably it would probably be easier just to call us the alphabet people. So anyway. John Bon Zombie, The Last of Us is amazing. And we can kind of talk about that a little bit because we're actually talking this morning. We are talking about remakes of. The first story we're talking about is about remaking old shows and stuff, right? And what I'm talking about here, this tweet has been deleted, but I had it saved. Okay, so this at Comic Lover Marie put this out and says, I can't believe this is real. And so it says here, this here is from this new series that HBO has put out called Velma. The young man here on the left is supposedly Shaggy, right? Shaggy Norville. And the lady here on the side, they are saying, is this is Scooby, from Shaggy and Scooby, this is Scooby, but they're saying it is going to be spelt with an I. Now, let me just say this. Let me get this out there. I went to the IMDb and I scoured through it. We scoured, me and my research team, everywhere. Pull me in now. I'll save you. Okay. Hang on here, Tommy. Where are you at? Hey, good morning, Tommy. What's up?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you just fine, bud.
It's a really good. I haven't watched it yet because I just found this out. I talked to this guy. He's in my football service. His name is Orson Welles. He's kind of a all right. He's a wannabe writer, and he says we are all getting trolled with this fucking thing, both sides, the left and the right, and it's working probably right to her plan. Although losing this kind of money, he thinks because she's a writer for the English version of the Office, so the less PC version of it.
Okay. Yeah.
There is no goddamn way that this thing is deliberately woke. That it was just a fucking goof from the beginning. In other words, let's do Scooby Doo.
Yeah.
And get rid of the dog.
Yeah.
Screw it. She's doing all, and there's a couple jokes in there. I found one. I posted it on my timeline. That would not have gone through woke approval. There is no way on earth. There's a very good chance both sides are being trolled here. A very good chance.
Well, I haven't watched it either. Okay, and I've got your tweet up here on the screen.
Nobody watched it. Nobody watched it, and nobody was gonna watch it because Scooby-Doo's not so popular anymore. That's a part. Yeah.
The only thing like I said, the only thing that I was a little bit, I didn't necessarily care that they made, Shaggy black. I didn't care that they made Velma. I guess I don't know if she's black or Indian, because the actress that is voicing her is Indian, you know. But one of the things that kind of had me
Yeah,
was,
she wrote this. She's from. If I understand, she's from The Office,
yes,
like
she
the
was.
UK version.
Yes.
Yeah, I think she's older too. I think she's in her
Yeah.
50s as well. So every rotation you have around this planet, regardless of the color of your skin, you're less likely to be woke.
Yeah. So
it might be she's trying to piss off all the reactionary Jeremy types, and she's pissing off all the SJWs at the same time.
Yeah.
And I think everybody's going. I'm actually think I had no plans of watching this shit. I wasn't gonna watch He-Man. I don't like any of this crap.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, they changed this. They changed that to goof on you.
Sure.
You know, and then they put a bunch of anti-woke jokes in there to fucking troll them. In fact, the lefties seem to be more pissed off about this thing than the right-wing guys, because the right-wing guys are used to this, all this Jeremy fodder. Yeah. And I think Keemstar and Nick may have picked up on it and fucking trolled Jeremy last night.
Oh yeah, I've got that. Yeah, at 80-30.
Yeah, because everybody's like losing their fucking minds. Like both sides of this political spectrum could be goofed on here. And I'm wondering, so before you say you're outraged or anything,
I'm not
first of all, Scooby-Doo sucks. All right, it always sucked. It sucked in the '70s. It sucks
now. Hang on, that was my
Scooby-Doo
childhood.
Who gives a shit? Yeah, I saw the one with the Harlem Globetrotters too. Yeah. All right, but I mean, I'm sorry. It was never that good to begin with, and it's almost like an IP you can kind of fuck with a bit, because it's not that good. But I think they sat around and was like, let's do something really funny, really Andy Kaufman. We'll do Scooby-Doo and we won't even put in the fucking dog.
Yeah,
completely.
The one scene I can tell you right now, if Jeremy's watched it, because I do think it's I had to be a troll, right? Because like, for example, there was I seen a little clip out like the first episode where what is the goofball, the big blonde-headed brute that's always has been the leader, but you know who I'm talking about. I can't remember his name.
Fred. Now he's a bastard white guy, right?
Yeah. Okay, so he's on trial, right, for murder, and Velma gets him off. You know how she gets him off?
How does she get him off?
They bring out a steak in front of him, there in front of the jury and everybody. She says, cut it up. Tommy, he couldn't operate a knife and fork. He didn't know how to cut it up. They made him look like a complete and total moron, right?
Yeah.
So, I understand, the whole PC woke culture is portraying, white man, bad, stupid, ignorant, moronic, things like that, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But then,
so that tells me it's a goof, because that's so over the top. Because even the woke guys do it when they want to take a shot at white people, and they do. Yeah. It's a lot more subtle than that. It sounds like everybody's getting played, man.
Yeah.
Just by what you're explaining to me, because and that's the way it's working. Nobody's going to fucking watch this thing. No one was going to watch this thing. Yeah. The only group of people that would have watched this are kids, but it wasn't targeted to them, right? Yeah. So here's another thing too, and I know this from a friend of mine back home who's very much LGBTQ. Velma's always been a bit of an icon for them. So I think this person went in there and just to piss everybody off. Yeah. So they took all these woke tropes. I mean, really, the most brilliant was, let's do Scooby-Doo without the dog. I mean, I just can't believe I didn't pick up on it. So only everybody's already made their mind up. Only everybody's going to watch clips. I'm the same way. You admitted you haven't seen it too. No. And we're like, oh my God, they're saying all these horrible things about white men when they're really making fun of people, making white man look like how stupid is this? That it would be the equivalent of me portraying a racist in some kind of clip to make fun of racism. Sure. What she's making fun of is she's actually making fun of white racism. That's what it sounds like, at least what you're telling me.
Yeah. There's this guy here. I don't even know who this guy is, but it's called Tizzo Spencer. His bio says that he's a Xbox, Halo Knight, toy collecting and gaming, right? So he's one of these guys. He says he has a screen cap here of the show. It goes, I'm not even a minute into this first episode. My first question is, why in the fuck are they showing teenagers full back naked in high school? But it's not real. They're cartoons and they got boobies. Man, fuck this show already. It just shows a picture of the girls, in a shower room scene or whatever, like in high school. They've got soap and stuff. Yeah, but I'm saying,
You ever see heavy metal? You never read heavy metal when you were a kid?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So this is not for kids anyway. So what the fuck are they worried about?
It's on HBO.
I mean, I don't know. I watched Friday the 13th growing up. Everybody was fucking. That's why Jason killed them.
Exactly.
So don't get your high horse for me. And all these like, I mean, God, I mean, young people are like the worst Christian fundamentalists these days. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I'm really wondering if this is just like a brilliant piece of art, and we're all getting fucking snowed Andy Kaufman style. That's what I'm wondering.
You know what? Wouldn't it be great if it was?
I think this. Look at this joke. I mean, come on, man. This passed woke protocol. I'm going to send it to you right now. You can put it on your damn screen. How did that pass? There's no way that passed. That joke does not pass woke protocol.
Yeah. I've got it up here. I've got it up here on the screen right now. People can look at it.
Yeah, taking a direct swing at Me Too.
Yeah.
Saying Me Too is oppressive and kind of fascist.
Yeah.
That's woke. Get the fuck out of here. We're all getting snowed. This woman's brilliant. And Orson Welles, I mean, he's not a retard.
No.
I think he would know. And I don't he's into all this shit. So he would probably have figured it out before most people would have figured it out. So he says, you got to see it. And I started thinking about it all night. When I woke up and I saw, all these people having a fucking heart attack. By the way, the guy's on my side of the political art. I'm like, you know what? I think he might be right.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yep. So I think what I'm going to do today while I'm working is I'm going to pull this up and kind of watch the first 2 episodes in the background, kind of listen to it and see.
And tell me, let me know what you think.
Yeah. Because I'll be honest with you, Tommy.
I could be wrong. I still could be wrong, but I'm really starting to wonder, because this shit is just so over the top, even for them,
Yeah. But honestly, truthfully, if it is a gaffe or a goof on both sides of the spectrum, the extremities on both sides, I'm here for it. I love that.
I'm totally here for it.
100%.
I'm totally here for it. You know what? Here's the thing, and I'm gonna be doing a show tonight at SFTP. You know why Jeremy looks like a fool? Because he's not humble.
Yeah.
He's not humble, right? Like nobody could like I came in here, I told you, look, you're getting fooled. You're getting fooled. You were willing to hear me out. If you're not humble, you're like, no, you're protecting your fucking ego, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. We have an extreme lack of humility. So anybody that's getting burned by this joke, right? It's just not humble. They're up their own ass. They take themselves too seriously. They take the things they like and care about much more seriously than they should. That's what I think. I got to get a. So I don't know how to go to hold this in Germany because we don't have HBO. But I need copies of these episodes. I got to watch this thing. Yeah. I have to watch it. Yeah. And the woman who wrote it, Mindy something.
Yeah, let me see.
Yeah, it's not considered. I think that's what Mindy Kaling. I think that's her name. Let me get her name. Oh, she's actually kind of young. She's younger than me. And she's kind of. You could be as young as me. You could definitely be woke at my age. That's where they start. That's where they started this shit. She's 43. She's from Cambridge, Massachusetts. She's not English.
Yeah.
She's not English. She's not English. She probably wrote for the other office. Wait a minute. Oh, well, look at this. Let's look at her fucking filmography here. The 40-year-old version. Not exactly a 40 unaccompanied minors, licensed to wed, no strings attached. The 5-year Wreck-It Ralph. Oh wow, she was one of the voices of Wreck-It Ralph. Is it? So this is okay. A television. She wrote The Office from 2005 to 2013. That's pretty fucking good considering how young she would have been when it started. That's pretty awesome.
Inside Out.
Sex Lives of College Girl Victim, and then she played. She actually plays. She wrote it and she plays Mindy as well.
She was
or a Velma. Yeah.
She was also on an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and that's a very irreverent.
Yeah, that's a reverend show. She could. This could be her move, man. And then she would have been right. She's Gen X. She might be at just the right age to pull this off.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because you're not when you're Gen X. You're not like in your late 50s or 60s where you have no connection to the internet and stuff like that. But you're not too old to know what's going on online. You're somewhere in the middle.
She's our age, Tommy. She's our age.
Well, Oh, she's younger than me. She's only 43. She's 3 years younger than me.
Yeah,
she would have been a sophomore when I. Yeah, she would have been a sophomore when I was a senior.
And
she's Gen X.
She's a pretty girl or a woman. No, she's not a girl. She's a woman, but she's a pretty woman. I mean,
some Indian broads are all right looking.
Yeah. So
I think she has to. If she could lay off the curry from time to time, she's probably really super hot.
oh, come on now. What's with a little curry? A little curry never hurt nobody, Tommy. Come on
Yeah,
now.
curry good makes your ass big. All right. All right. I don't know if it does or not. To be honest with you. You have a good show, man. Take care. Peace.
Thanks, Tommy. Appreciate it, man. Everybody, Tommy C. You heard him from here. He will be doing a show this afternoon. I know he was out yesterday. He wasn't feeling well or whatever. I seen a tweet by him, and there you have it. Tommy, Uncle Tommy says that this is a work, guys. That this is a big goof and a gag. And that's kind of where I was going with this, because there was even a YouTube channel out here, Clownfish TV. They talk about this in the first, I don't know, 2-3 minutes, whatever, and they're just talk about how they don't know. So I think what I would recommend at this point is let's watch this show. If you haven't, maybe watch it, right? And because there's some like really wild stuff that happens. And remember, this is on HBO. This is not your Saturday morning cartoons, right? The that cartoons and stuff that that I grew up with as a kid. I mean, this is this is definitely more adultish. They've got like this scene here. I'm not going to play it because right now I'm worried about copyright and everything else. But they're attacking her or whatever, and this person throws one of those. This is one of those paper cutters you have in high school where you cut off the edge of a paper. And Fred comes in, deflects it, and then comes back, cuts this dude's. I mean, you see it right there. It cuts the dude's leg right off, right?
A brain removing.
Anyway, that's so this is so it's got some graphics in here. We saw that's got evidently some faux pas or fake. This is not really. I don't consider this nudity. This guy's getting bit out of shape or whatever. But whatever. And then, like I say, and even Tommy was out here talking about how this joke would never get past the quote, woke police that extend or exist out there. Anyway, and then this person here, aka like says, wait, the chick is in the trailer, and then so now they're saying, oh, it's true. So this is going to be Scooby. I don't know if it is or it isn't. If it is, I think it could be funny. I think it could be hilarious. I think Tommy's right. I mean, if they're saying things and doing things on both sides to get both sides spun up. They're portraying Fred as this dunce who can't even cut up a steak. So that's going to get the people that are on the white right, if you will, to kind of get up in arms about how dare you you're making white men look stupid. Well, I got news for you. There are a lot of white men out there that are very stupid. But anyway, I am going to watch the cartoon. I saw this was kind of starting to trend a little bit, so I am going to, like I say, I'm going to watch the cartoon today and kind of get caught up on it and stuff. So let's get into Jeremy's meltdown. Okay. So what happened, where this all started was, so Keemstar comes out and he is saying how, I think we went over this a little bit yesterday. Hang on a second. D-Max is calling in here. Hey, what's up, D-Max? And you're muted.
Hey, sorry about that.
That's okay. What's up, man?
Yo, sorry, it's just a real quick thing about the Velma thing.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of cartoons. I'm one of
Sure.
these horrible degenerate millennials.
I like a good cartoon.
Yeah. So like I keep up vaguely with like the Scooby-Doo stuff. Like I've always kind of enjoyed it from the time that I was a kid, right?
Yeah.
And there was one of those that came out that had a lot of like, are you familiar with the term shipping?
No.
So ships are relationships. And basically
Okay.
when you ship two characters together, what it means is that you're saying like, oh, this character and this character should start dating, right? So
Sure.
typically the typical ship for Scooby-Doo is shipping Velma and Fred, right? Because that makes sense. They have like a lot of romantic chemistry, even in the original series. There's a
Sure.
lot of that kind of stuff. In this series that I'm talking about, though, that's more of a modern take, and there was like it was like from a few years ago. They actually shipped Shaggy and Velma. And that was like a big part of like a big plot line. That was actually like a whole, like, there was a whole arc in the show about this. So the reason why I bring this up is because in this one, there is a scene where basically Shaggy admits like Velma, I love you, like all of this stuff like really goes in
Yes.
on her, and she laughs in his face and calls him stupid. Now, the reason why I think that that's interesting is because the ship of Velma and Shaggy in that other show basically made the whole community around that show. So like going into this show, there's a lot of people, a lot of Zoomers, a lot of millennials who have that like baggage of like the original or of that show, like and liking that relationship, and now they're making fun of it. Like I kind of agree with Tommy. I think this is a work. Like I think that like you don't do the types of things that they're doing. You don't write the show the way that they're writing it and expect people to like it. Like it almost seemed like they wrote the show because I've only seen a little bit of it. I've seen a few episodes just because I was curious. Even though I'm telling people not to hate watch it because I'm a horrible hypocrite.
Yeah.
Um, but I think it's a work because I think they're just trying to piss off as many people as they possibly can. We all know this. Anger sells more than anything else on the internet. So why not market their show? Also, the other thing is too, did you see that big splash that they put out on HBO, like social media, saying this is the biggest animated show they've ever had debuted on HBO Max? Well, hey, guess what? Spoilers, everybody. It's the only show they have right now aired on HBO Max that's animated. So like of course it's the biggest.
Sure.
That's just so they're doing everything they possibly can, I think, to just piss off as many people as they can. And that's what the marketing tactic is for this because I think Tommy's right. Nobody wants to watch Scooby-Doo anymore.
Yeah,
So
well,
that was it.
I mean, here's the thing. Every once in a while, like I was like Cartoon Network or something like that. They'll show like the old '70s Scooby or whatever, right? And I'll sit down and try to watch an episode, and it just doesn't have the same pizzazz as it did when I was 10 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's a
Um,
legacy thing. Part
yeah,
of the thing in media right now that's an issue is that millennials are easy to market to. Boomers are easy to market to. Gen X easy to market to.
yeah,
Zoomers, how do you market to Zoomers? Like this is the big problem in marketing right now that everybody's asking is like, how do we do this? So the easiest way to do anything these days is actually not make like children's content. Instead, you make content for their parents who are millennials, Gen X, or boomers. So
yes,
they'll come and watch the thing and they'll bring their kids along with them, or if they have kids at all, because honestly,
yeah.
that's a problem these days too. A lot of people, a lot of adults don't have kids these days. So,
Is that a
yeah.
problem though? Really?
Yeah, we're on a decline. Like the population growth is actually decreasing in America, as far as I know.
But I thought that was good. I thought we had overpopulation of the planet. I thought that was we were killing the
What are you,
planet.
Klaus Schwab? What are you, World Economic Forum type stuff? What is this? No, we want
No,
more people, Peepaw. We got to colonize Mars.
colonize Mars.
That's right, or the
I
moon at
don't know.
least.
I'll say this. There are some people that I've seen that are parenting that they get an F in the parenting book for me. But
Yeah.
each to his own, whatever. But I would just say this. I really am hoping that this whole thing is a big giant work and that it is made simply to outrage all the extremists because then the centrists like myself can just sit back and laugh at these guys drooling mad at each other.
Yeah, I
And
think ever since Ghostbusters female like
yeah,
cast, I think they
yeah,
understood. I think Hollywood gets it. I think they understand that like no matter what they do, if they try to push woke crap, there are going to
yeah,
be a certain section of people that are not going to like it.
sure,
They'll have their people that will go for it just because it's that.
yeah,
So I think that they're really. I think you're
yeah.
right. I think they're just trying to put it into contention. I think they're just trying to make it so that anger sells online. You
So
know.
wasn't they? And because I don't follow, don't I'll tell you, there are a few cartoon shows I actually watch, right? Bill Burr has a series on Netflix called F is for Family, right? And it was based upon his childhood. It is an adult cartoon. It is not something that you sit down and watch with your kids. I'm going to just tell you right now. It is irreverent, but it is hilarious as hell. And if you were a kid who grew up in the, I'm going to say probably 70s and 80s, you will laugh your butt off watching that series, right? There is another series that I watch on Netflix that is cartoon that is called, what is it? Oh, shit, what is it? It's about hormone monsters and about these kids
Oh,
going
Big
through
Mouth.
Big
Big
Mouth.
Mouth.
Yes. I
Yeah.
watched that one. I found the first several seasons of that one to be extremely funny. The last couple, maybe not so much. But I still watched them just to see if they kind of maybe turned it around. The last season one was not as bad as the previous one. But that's
I
another.
really don't know how to feel about Big Mouth because, like, I don't know how to feel about shows like this, to be honest, because it's sort of a, I don't know if correct me if I'm wrong, Peepaw, but it seems
Yeah.
like it's a bit of a new phenomenon that there is so much like cartoon content out there for adults. Like I would say, knowing what I know about cartoons, I
Mhm.
wouldn't be surprised if we are at the 50% threshold to maybe even above that
Mhm.
for like adult cartoon content,
Well,
in the
you know
in the
why,
larger
right?
pool of just cartoon content. No, well, it's for the reason I just described. Is because millennials, Zoomers, Gen X, like that's who you are
They're
supposed to market
okay
to these days.
because all right. So Gen Xers, my generation, we're getting into our quote golden years, right? Where we're getting close to retirement age. We have a little bit more disperse, income that is free to spend as we see fit, right? We are the generation that grew up with things like Saturday morning cartoons and Star Wars and all these cool little things, right? And they market it so hard to us to make us nostalgic for that time period, right? And they do that to attract us to watch cartoons, right? That's why when I
Right.
sit down and I watch something like F is for Family, I'm like, okay, I don't feel like a moron because I'm a 54-year-old man watching a cartoon. Whereas if I'm a 54-year-old man and I'm sitting down and I'm watching something like Scooby Doo from the 70s, I'm like, I can't watch this, right?
Yeah.
But I can watch
Yeah.
something like that because it's not childish, it's not kiddie, it is adult, right? And so
Yeah.
exactly, that's why they're making it. And my generation is now I mean, for crying out loud, look behind me. I've got Star Wars. I've got stuff I've collected everywhere
No,
all through
listen,
my
South
childhood.
Park,
So
South Park nailed it. I want to let you
yeah,
get back to doing your show, man,
yeah,
because I love you. But like South Park nailed it. You remember TIE Fighters? I remember.
yeah.
The member berries.
The
Like
member
that.
berries. Yeah. Yep.
It's so true. And again,
Yes.
working in media, just for the little bit that I have and the few, little
Yeah.
rings that I have been,
Yeah.
they talk like that. They
Sure.
know that this is what sells. This is the only
100%.
thing that sells these days, So
100%.
there's a huge incentive to keep doing it.
Why do you think with like, okay, so just real briefly, and then I got to move on. But when they came out with episode 7, 8, and 9 of Star Wars, right? And episode 7, they did that in such a way as to scratch all those old feelings for people like myself to get us drug into the theaters, right? And yeah,
Right.
there was a few things in there that was like, we're like, okay.
Yeah.
But we got Han Solo and Chewbacca going back to the Millennium Falcon, and they're like, ooh, our member berries, ooh, we're getting tingled here,
That's right.
right?
You got that famous Star Wars suite. It's immaculate,
And then you had the little scene at the end where Ray goes and you see Luke Skywalker, and we're like, oh, there was people, my age nerds, that actually orgasmed right there in the theater in the chair because Luke Skywalker was there, and he pulls back the hood looking like Obi-Wan Kenobi. We actually orgasmed right there in the theater because that was something that we had been waiting for since the 90s, right?
Yep.
And then you go to episodes 8 and 9, and we're like, fuck you, Kathleen Kennedy. fuck you,
Oh
fuck
yeah.
you, fuck you.
What
So
was the name of that guy for the next one? What was it? What was that guy's name? Shit, the director. You remember?
I don't know. I've done everything I
Forget.
can to block those movies completely out of my head
Me. So have
because
I.
they
Yeah,
were
they're so
so
sad.
so bad. And so and it is, and they have so
But it
just
works. But this is the thing: is it works. Like this is what kills me, and this is why
yeah,
people say don't hate watch, is
yeah,
because it works. Like they will get you hook, line, and sinker
yeah.
just based off member berries. They've been, you make fun of me all the time for Kingdom Hearts. This is what they're doing with Kingdom Hearts these days. The only difference is that like I'm like a I'm like a reformed drug addict or something. I'm just like tapping my veins, just going like, I don't care, just give me another dose. I don't give a shit anymore.
And then they did the same thing with the Mandalorian, right? I started watching it. It's like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
this is not bad. All
Season
right.
3's coming. Season
Hey,
3's coming, people.
I don't give a shit. I'll not watch it. And
Yeah.
even after they gave us the Luke that we wanted in Mandalorian, we got the Luke that we wanted, right? This is what we needed. This is what we craved. And then they want to get all stupid in their political stances and shit.
Oh
And I'm
no,
like,
people. What do you mean? Are you trying to tell me that you don't think that Luke Skywalker would throw away the lightsaber of his father, Anakin Skywalker? Are you trying to tell me that like the way that they wrote that, like that whole episode doesn't make a lot of sense? Like, it's almost like you're trying to say that they wrote this in such a way to make maybe, I don't know, people mad so that they talk about it on
yeah,
the internet. It's
sure.
weird. It's so
Yeah.
weird how this happens, you know?
And then, they said, okay, they hooked me in again. They said, hey, we got Boba Fett. We got the book of
Yep.
Boba Fett. And I watched it and I was like, okay, oh yeah. Oh no, this is not the book of
Yeah.
Boba Fett. This is season 2.5 of The Mandalorian. Okay.
Yeah, this is
Fuck you
bloated
again,
Boba Fett.
Disney.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Disney. I'm done with you. And then they came out with what was it? The Obi-Wan series, right? And I was like,
I haven't seen that one. I love Ewan McGregor. He's one of my favorite
yes,
people ever.
exactly. So I
Yeah.
wanted to watch it because I thought, okay, maybe with him in there, maybe okay. And honestly, truly, it was not a bad series, except for
Okay.
they had some storylines in there that totally goes against canon, that is totally unbelievable. And I don't want to say it because I don't want to ruin it for you. So you might watch it.
Why don't they just oh my god, it's so
Yeah,
like
yeah,
what kills me is that with all of these things, there's so many conversations because there's like anime that does this too. But it's
yeah,
like with so many of these things and they just it's like inevitably if you are a fan of the series and you're talking about it, you will
yeah,
get to a plot line or a storyline that you will just have in conversation that is inevitably better than what they
yeah,
have done and written in the actual show. This is why it's so stupid these days is because the fans are smarter than the
yeah,
writers. And I have to tell you, it's because a lot of these writers are just like that far gone. Like I would believe it either way with the Scooby-Doo thing to tie it back together. Like
sure,
I would believe it either way. I would believe it that they are that they're doing this on purpose so that they can drive clicks,
sure,
or that they are so far gone that they think that these little quips that they're making
yeah,
to their side of like the woke
yeah,
content is going to be just enough to be able to throw a sop to Cerberus to the people that don't like that. And
yeah.
it's not. They don't realize this because they're too far gone. It could be either or.
Could be it's just they're just gonna keep on and keep on. Hollywood has always been a more left leaning community, right? But
Yes.
recent years they have really went overboard, right? Um, and so and then that's why you've had different, and they've had a modicum of success, I guess. You've had these companies that have sprung up that are making this I guess you would call it like wholesome TV type stuff. The Christian, all they show is Christian movies. They have their own production studios and everything where they make their own movies and things like that. And I've got family members and stuff that subscribe and watch it, and that's all they'll watch. They don't watch Netflix, or they don't watch HBO, or they don't watch any of these other things because it's just too much garbage for them, right? It's just too much, secular type content.
Hmm.
And I think that is indicative to what the landscape is out there, right? And what I mean by that is we have people that are on the extreme left. We have people who are on extreme right. And it used to be those extremists on either side, they were a very small percentage of the people, the populace, right? But over the last 10 to 15, and I'll say maybe even 20 years, those numbers have swelled because we have a pendulum here in this country, right? And this pendulum when it first started, it was just kind of very back and forth in the middle. It wasn't really one extremity to the other, right? But because of rhetoric and because of the way things have been covered and been discussed, be it in just news period, right, that goes on, and it's gotten where everything that has happened is politicized, and it's one extreme swing to the other, one extreme swing to the other, and now the pendulum is essentially just it never is in the middle. It's either extreme left or it's extreme right. And what that is doing is it's driving people who are more centrist in beliefs, right?
Right. To extremist positions.
To extremist positions, because here's the thing: if you take a person like myself, who is more centrist in my beliefs, right? Because for example, on the top, one of the real big, this is like one of the third rail topics that you can't discuss, right? Abortion, sure. Right? Abortion is a very hot topic subject, right? Now, I myself, I would consider myself like a more, because I was raised with certain values and beliefs, right? But right. I also understand that there are things in this world that are necessary, right? There are evils that are necessary. I think abortion is evil, but I think under certain circumstances it is necessary, right?
I've been saying this for years. I think that the culture, this culture war, quote unquote, this is not a culture war of left and right. This is a culture war of extremists versus moderates. This has always been what it's been, because there's really not that many extremists out there, but they are a vocal minority. Sure. So like you take a thing like abortion, right? There's an easy middle ground that I think everybody could go for. And I think that a lot of times it's the left and right kind of talking past each other, right? So it's like, I agree. I think that everybody should agree that abortion is not a proper form of contraception, So past that, maybe we can have a discussion as to like, when it is that kind of line kind of keeps up. Some conservatives would say it's from conception or whatever, but I think that there's an easy argument to be made that like first trimester abortions maybe not so bad, especially when most of the time you can take a pill or something like that. So there's like nuanced positions here with 100%. A lot of these things, gay marriage, all of them, like all of these social issues that are political, like there are things that you could do to make it so that it would at least decrease the tension of these types of issues. But again, it's the same thing as like this Velma thing, where it's like, if you want people to come out and vote for your person, you have to make it the most salacious, most extreme, most ridiculous, over the top issue, so that people feel like they have to get out of their like off their butt, off their couch, and actually go to the voting polls, or they hand it in your hand, which is a whole other thing now. But but that being said, like that's the game. Like that is the game these days, is just to try to make it so that it is as hot button a topic as possible, so that people feel like they have to do something,
Exactly.
Twitter is a space occupied by the extreme left and right. So make them fight and they'll talk about whatever property we want them to promote.
And we're not, people who are more centrist, we're not allowed to be centrist. We're not allowed to have, I don't know. It just, to me, I'm like, I honestly, truly, and maybe this is naive on my part, I don't know, but I honestly, truly believe there are more people in this country that are more centrally minded. Even if you combine the extreme left and extreme right, I think there's still more people who are more centrist in their mindsets, right?
And if it's a broader conversation, but most Americans are liberals, and the thing is, like, the term liberal is a moderate position, and it has been completely and totally skewed to this idea that like only a certain sect of our political parties are liberal. When it comes down to it, Democrats and Republicans, if you look at their basis, if you look at the history, we're all liberals. If you are an American, you have American values, you are a liberal, a classical liberal.
But if we would come together and say, okay, enough is enough, right? And we're tired of this rhetoric. And I really, really would do wish that there would be a viable third party that would come into this country that hold those centrist views, and would, that we could get them into a position of power, to where maybe not necessarily quote lead the country, but they are someone that they have to be. The conversation has to start happening, because neither side would have the votes that they need to do anything, right? So they would actually have to start talking. They would actually start having to compromise on these extremist views that they have, to where we would get things maybe back middle of the road and kind of slow down this pendulum swings to the extremities each side. Now, that's what I would ideally like to see happening. The truth is, I think that'll never happen. I think we're way past that. And
we're too far gone.
Yeah, and I think what's gonna eventually happen one of these days. And I don't know if it'll be in my life cycle or not, but one day the pendulum is going to swing so far that it's going to stick.
Well, Tommy mentioned it, like that
Yeah.
there's a lot of the younger generation now that is like
Yeah.
Puritans. Like they are like
Sure.
straight up Christian Puritans.
Yeah.
And like, I think that, to be honest with you, I don't see it so much as a negative. I'm not a Christian myself, but I think
Yeah.
that like going back to a base of morals is not necessarily a bad thing.
Yeah.
But I will say too that I have experienced in my real life some of these kids who are like these like very adamant sort of moral Christian
Yes.
kids. And it's weird seeing like 18-year-olds getting married because they believe that that's the right thing to do, and then you look at their relationship and you go, holy, like what?
Yeah.
Like you guys
Yeah.
are too young for this.
Yes.
And it's like I see this time and time and time and time and time again, and it's weird. It's a weird space to be in. But
Yeah.
like you said, I think the pendulum's swinging. It's in the swing. It's weird now in the middle because it's so contentious. But I agree with you. I hope that it doesn't end up going too far.
Yeah. Either
we'll see.
side. Either side
Either
getting
side.
stuck. Either side is wrong. It's bad.
There's multiple pendulums too. That's the other
Oh,
thing
yeah.
too. Is it's not just one pendulum. It's like a pendulum for art, a pendulum for culture, a pendulum for certain subsects of culture. Right? Gaming
Yeah.
culture has had the pendulum been swinging the opposite direction since that event that we don't talk about, Gamergate. Like it's
Yeah.
like this is what's been happening. This has been the slow increase of a lot of these issues and things. And because of all of these different communities are having their points of contention, now we're getting to the boiling point. Now things are really getting interesting because this culture war is like you said, it's now affecting moderates, not just people who are paying attention or plugged in politically. It's affecting everybody. It's a big old wheel that's coming down the pike, and it's going to crush you too. And people have been screaming and crying and being like, listen, you got to get out of the way. And here it is. It's right on top of you now. What are you going to do? Anyway, people, love you to death. Love the show. Love everybody in the chat too. I've been loving the chats. I gotta get going though. I gotta get my work done.
Yeah, I've got to wrap things up too, because our time is done for
Sorry,
today.
I didn't mean to take so much time.
No. Conversations is what this show is really about. So I appreciate you calling in. You have a great day, D-Max.
You too. Don't mind doing a plug. I love you, but later.
Okay, buddy.
Have a good one.
All right. So anyway, I didn't get to some of the stuff that I was wanting to get to. So I believe we're going to have quite a bit of content to talk about on Dave's stream tonight, right? So let's hopefully Dave will be able to put, we'll get together and do a show this evening. Keep an eye on my Twitter, Dave's Twitter stuff. If you didn't get a chance to catch Dave last night with Xylee and Nixie was in the producer chair, make sure to go check it out as well. Was a great show last night. Lots of hilarity, funny things that happened. So go check it out. Does it look like Nerdy's going to be doing a stream this morning? I don't see one queued up here. Let's see. Does he have one scheduled? No, he doesn't. Okay. His work thing may have changed on him again or whatever. But anyway, listen, guys, I appreciate you coming out, and hope you all have a great day today. Check out some. I wanted to. let's do this here. Why did I do that? Come on. Real quick, I wanted to see here. Where's it at? Yeah. Okay. Let me shout this guy out. Rian here. He's an art director, illustrator, a musician. He does take commissions, right? He has done some artwork. As you see, he did this one for me. He also, in my tweet this morning, this was one that he did for me as well. Peepaw. He's got like, and I really screwed up yesterday, and I forgot to tweet out the one yesterday that he had done for me. And so he got me like a whole bunch of, like 4 or 5 of them for this whole week to put out. And I'll put out one every day. I've made some notes to remind me to do it. Check this guy out. This is his @ it's Gardy _RUIZ. But give him a check. If you're needing, like if you artwork, maybe a profile picture, things of that nature. I don't know what all he does. He's just an illustrator. It says he's an illustrator. So maybe give him a check. Because, he's done several things, for me, for whatever reason, I strike his funny bone. He's done some things for Matt Pitt as well. These are just some, man, these are great things. They're just gorgeous. They're just gorgeous artwork. Give Ren a follow. Let's get him some followers. Just get his artwork out there, because I just feel like he's really a talented artist. Anyway, like I say, make sure and check out all the ones I stand all the time, like Now Recording Podcast, the broadcast with Xylee, and that crew. They like I said, they recently dropped a new episode not too long ago. Dead on Dave. Tommy C's going to be live this evening. I think he usually goes around 2 p.m. Or I'm sorry, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard, rather. Sounds like he's going to be talking about Jeremy as well today, because we didn't get to it, but I had a bunch of stuff lined up where our fan of a show, and I like him, 8030, really got him in his feelers, along with Tipster, Nick Diorio, and Keemstar. I mean, Jeremy was on a roll last night. Check like I said, I'm sure Tommy's going to be talking about all that. But anyway, listen, guys, I will see you tomorrow morning, 7:30 Eastern Standard Time, and we'll see where the day leads us. Hopefully you guys all have a great day. It is Taco Tuesday, so remember to stop and get your tacos this evening. And anyway, you guys have a great day. Keep your powder dry, and I will see you in the funny papers.